have your foot in the door with a contractor, and then you also are learning the skills needed to advance yourself as you go.
You're watching the Spotlight Network, starring Hollywood's newsman, Logan Crawford.
They now believe a single member.
He works with TV and film legends. And now, Logan's shining the spotlight on the world's top emerging authors and creators.
International were abducted.
This is Spotlight with Logan Crawford, streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV.
I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we're talking about a wonderful book, an empowering book. It is called The Hands That Built This, Restoring Respect and Rebuilding the Future of the Trades. It is an urgent, voice-driven memoir manifesto on the skilled trades workforce shortage and why trades should be a first-choice career. It is written by a terrific author. Her name is Kim Pierce, and she draws on more than 14 years experience as a carpenter and iron worker, plus nearly 2 decades in construction safety to show what's really happening on the job sites and what it takes to rebuild respect, training, and opportunity. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today. We thank the team for helping us put her in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Kim, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you, Logan. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you on the show. If you need a carpenter, if you need a plumber, if you need a roofer, you're often in tough shape because finding people who are skilled in these trades nowadays is tough to do. And I think, and you think obviously, a lot of this is because, tradespeople have been put on a back shelf, and that's not where they belong. Talk to us about the urgent need in this country to recognize trades as a first choice career.
Well, I just saw a statistic from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics that we need over 300,000 tradesmen this year alone just to fulfill the current need. That's bare bones. What has happened over the years is that industrial arts programs have been taken out of schools, and the guidance counselors are still pushing college. But not all students are college material. They work well with their hands, they can build, they can do things, but there are no avenues for them to be able to jump right into a career without knowing someone in the trades or a mechanic, auto shop that can help them get started. I'm finding that more and more on all the job sites that I go to every day.
Yeah. We've gotten into this mindset where we want the next generation to go to college. That's where they'll get the big paycheck. That's where they'll succeed. And it's not necessarily the case. If you're going to a run-of-the-mill school in the middle of nowhere studying sociology, in many cases, you might not bother going because your degree is not going to be very respected. And it's not going to land you that dream job that parents dream about. But the trades, on the other hand, there's a real need. Like you said, 300,000 are needed right now, and there's a void. The schools are not offering it like they used to. I know there used to be SHOP, there used to be BOCES programs when I was growing up, that kind of thing. So where can the void be filled? Is it apprenticeships? Is it earn while you learn type of programs? Talk to us a little bit about what can be done.
So it needs to start at home with the parents talking to their kids, especially if they know someone or they themselves are working in the trades. Our parents always want us to do better. They don't want us to do this job.
Right.
But what they don't know is that may be the job that the kid likes, and wants to do that. I learned my construction skills from my dad, growing up, and I saw it every day. So I learned from him. I went to college, had a job in an office, bookkeeping at a construction firm. I didn't like it. I wanted to be outside. And so I walked away from that, started working with my dad and my brother, and we did that for many years. And then I got into the ironworkers. So where it needs to start is at home with the parents, talking to their kids about their future and what they want to do, and for them to see the skills that they're strong in. Along with that, we need the school districts, the guidance counselors to understand and pay attention to those same kids that, okay, yeah, this group of kids isn't ready. They don't want to go to college, but maybe they can go to trade school, because that's generally a 2-year program, and they can hone up on those skills, whether it's welding or turning a wrench or learning how to, put a stud wall together, whatever it is. Along those same lines is, along with the apprentice or the trade schools, is the apprenticeships. And what a lot of apprenticeships in all the trades, even in manufacturing, safety even has an apprenticeship. And I talk about that in my book, The Hands That Built This, that you still will get your apprenticeship. You'll get paid a percentage of the union scale, the journeyman's wage, as you go through your training over 4 years. But what's kind of the new norm is that along with that, you'll go to classes for a number of Saturdays in a row, or maybe in the evening. But you'll come out of those apprenticeships with an associate's degree. So you'll have a 2-year degree along with that apprenticeship, and then you can move on from there if you want to, because there's a lot of upward mobility with the getting into a trade apprenticeship. You have your foot in the door with a contractor, and then you also are learning the skills needed to advance yourself as you go. And you don't have any student debt like college students have, because you're earning as you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And tradespeople nowadays are well compensated. It's not
Yes.
a low-paying career necessarily, right?
No, it's not. And a lot of places, the wage goes up. You have collective bargaining agreements in the unions, and in other places, you may or may not, if they're non-union, but your wage goes up depending on the area you live in. So you'll get a cost of living raise, 3% or 5%, whatever it is. So that, is a kind of a steady increase also. A lot of contractors that have trades people that to their crews, they offer them a steady merit increase as they build their skills, and as a foreman or a superintendent, and sometimes even up into becoming a project manager.
Absolutely. And entrepreneurship is part of it as well. Talk to us about that.
So a lot of these students that coming up through the trades are finding that they're good with their hands, depending on what it is. They may work for a contractor, union or non-union, for a set amount of time, couple years maybe, and branch out on their own and decide that they want to do the work for themselves, or they want to specialize in something, whether it's instead of being a full service construction company, they just want to do a small portion of it. Maybe they're good at painting, or maybe they're good at roofing. As a mechanic, maybe they're good at doing resto mods, or authentic restorations, and they like that specialty work. There are many, many trades out there that offer apprenticeships and different paths to be able to do the same type of thing, especially, with the robotics and the AI technologies that are coming up along with this. People are able to branch out into different areas that years ago we didn't need, but now we're starting to see that we need those kinds of jobs.
Yeah. Auto mechanics today, that's a completely changed field. It's no longer, um, you tightening nuts and bolts and adjusting carburetors. It's removing components and computer chips and updating software and so forth. So we're seeing a lot of technology changes. Like you say, the needs will change too when robotics comes more into play, when AI comes more into play. Who is your book aimed at, and what's the message you'd like them to receive?
I think it's more aimed at the person that's looking for something. They don't know what it is. This is a good stepping stone to say, okay, I can do this, go this route, get into the trades, get into something. And it's showing people that there are options. You don't have to, have all the answers, but here's a path to show how the system can be navigated, who to contact. In my book, there are a list of resources to different trades and different organizations that can answer your questions, whether a phone call or a website, and go from there to be able to get your step in going in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, in addition to being a tradesperson yourself, you're also a writer. I believe your website is pierceauthor.com. Is that correct?
Correct.
Great. Tell us a little
Yes,
bit about your
that is
writing
correct.
career. You write under a lot of different pen names and all different types of genres. Talk to us about that a little bit.
So I have always been a big reader right up from the time I was 13, 14 years old. I read books and I continue to read them in their various forms even now. And it actually started with me looking for something to do in my retirement because I'm getting that age and I
Mhm.
don't want to quit work.
Yeah.
I want to have something to do. So I got into this program about writing and took it on, and I'm really enjoying it. I have, as you said, several books under my belt right now. I have a fantastic series also.
Mhm.
It's called the Enclave series that I think everybody would be interested in as a different side of me. But yeah, and I do have another book under my name coming out probably later this year into next year that'll be for the safety people in the audience.
Sounds great because construction safety has been your career for the last 2 decades. So obviously you're an expert in that. Tell us a little bit about the Enclave series. You seem particularly proud about that one. So tell us about it.
So this series started about 3 years ago, the idea of it. And the first book is called Battle Within the Ruins. It's a post-apocalyptic series,
Mhm.
but not in the zombie apocalypse dystopia.
Mhm.
It is more about how an event happened that affected the world, and it's not nature related. It's more an AI related.
Hmm.
So it's kind of fitting with the theme of the day. And it's about a group of people that had some serious trauma before this event happened, and they have not been able to deal with it because basically the world fell apart. So everybody's learning how to relive and have a normal life. And so the series follows these five individuals over the course of 5 books. The first 3 books are on my website, and the fourth book is currently in writing. And the fifth book will probably be out later this year also, towards the end of
Wonderful.
the
Well, you're
year.
a busy
So
woman between your work in construction safety and writing. And this book that we've been exploring today, folks, is wonderful. It's a real game changer for a lot of people who are making life and career decisions right now. Have your children consider working in the trades. Like we said, you can wind up an entrepreneur. They're quite lucrative. And instead of losing, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars to a university, you can start working within 2 years and actually be earning money, which is great. The name of the book is The Hands That Built This: Restoring Respect and Rebuilding the Future of the Trades. It is an urgent, voice-driven memoir manifesto on the skilled trades workforce shortage and why trades should be a first-choice career. Kim, thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you so much for having me, Logan.
I appreciate your time, your insight, and the wonderful work you've done on this book and all your other books as well. Folks, the link to all of Kim's books are below. It is pierceauthor.com. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time.